Ivan had parked his car at his residence when it suddenly became a jungle gym. Two kids were playing around and on his car. One of them even used it as a jumping ramp multiple times. Presumably after finding footprints all over his car, Ivan reviewed his security cam video before deciding to have a talk with the kids' parents. There wasn't any damage, so Ivan told them he'd let it slide this time. However, if they do it again, he'll be making a police report. Mysteriously, the kids haven't been seen near his car since. Here's a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You'll see what we mean. A driver turning out of a parking lot failed to see another vehicle coming down the road they were turning onto. The other vehicle swiped the turning car, forcing it into the opposing lane where it hit Ben's RAV4 head-on. Ben's SUV was pushed backward into his coworker's Jeep, but it didn't stop there. The force of the impact was enough to shove the Jeep into another coworker's Nissan. In total, 5 cars were damaged in the accident. Ben's car was totaled while his coworker's vehicles were able to be fixed. Initially, the turning driver fled the scene. When she came back later, she blamed the driver she'd cut off for running her off the road. Ben used this security cam footage as evidence to get her insurance provider to pay $13,000 for his totaled SUV. Unfortunately, the driver who'd hit the turning driver fled the scene and was never found. Adam's security cam also captured a hit-and-run accident. The driver of a pickup smashed into Adam's neighbor's parked vehicle before getting out and opening his hood. After doing whatever he was doing, he got back in his truck and sped off. The sound of the truck peeling out must have alerted the neighbor because they came running out of the house looking very confused. Sadly, they were too late. The pickup driver was gone, never to be seen again. Adam provided his footage to the owner of the parked vehicle, but he never heard anything else about it. Adams Street seems like a dangerous place. We'll show you another clip he sent us later in this episode. This submitter had his cars parked under the watchful eye of his security cam. When a phone notification alerted him that someone was around them, he decided to have a little fun. He used the remote start on his Corvette to give these kids a scare. I bet Ivan from our first story wishes he could have done this. Our submitter told us this happens all the time, but nobody ever seems interested in his Model 3, which is the cooler car in his opinion. He also told us people think he makes money in nefarious ways to be able to afford such nice cars, but actually, he just works 2 tech jobs. Sure, tech jobs. Sammy's porch camera caught this very confused woodpecker pecking at the lens. Does anyone know what kind of woodpecker this is? It's hard to identify from nothing more than its yellow head. If you think you know, put it in a comment. I bet you thought that last clip was this week's cute cam, but we decided this fox was even cuter. Our submitter told us since he lives in the city, he usually only has a herd of cats, possums, and raccoons that come to eat the cat food off his porch. This was the first fox to visit, and it looks like it's enjoying the free meal. This submitter had a strange visitor one morning. This guy hopped over a fence and started snooping around our submitter's carport. He happened to find their vehicle's keys hanging by the door, which the submitter admits wasn't a great idea on their part. It looks like the guy unlocked the vehicle, but he didn't open any doors. He circled it several times, looking through the windows, but he never tried to steal anything. Suddenly, he crouched down behind the vehicle as if he'd heard something. A moment later, he snuck away and climbed back over the wall. Sure enough, someone did come out of the house, but the guy was already long gone. Tashawn's golf cart stopped moving one night, so he tried to get it going by wiggling a particular wire that sometimes comes loose. This usually works, but this time was a different story. I don't think that cart's going anywhere anytime soon. Sure enough, even after trying everything he can think of, the cart hasn't moved in over 2 years. I think it might be time for a new one, man. As promised, here's the other video Adam sent us. This time, a driver was coming down the street in front of his house when a neighbor didn't notice them while backing out of their driveway. According to Adam, even though the driver appeared to stop, they ended up fleeing the scene after the recording ended, making it a hit and run. Okay, to make up for last week's creepy final clip, it's time for some revenge against the insect kingdom. Tori says this little lizard has been catching the bugs attracted to the porch light for years now. Yummy! Lizard 1, bug 0.